Hello everyone, Coder Gamer here, back with another Blender video, and today, this is my Halloween special. So today, I'm going to be making a very fun and a bit spooky pumpkin scene. So, the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to make a pumpkin. Now to do this, we're going to click Add, Mesh, and we're going to add a circle. Now, I'm going to scale this out a little. Then I'm going to go into edit mode and make sure you have vertices selected. Then go to select, check or deselect. It's going to make some sort of checker pattern. And then we're going to click S and we're going to scale it in, about that much. Then A to select everything, E and Z to scale up. I'm going to scale it about that much. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go back to object mode, Control C, Control V, and then we're going to move this to the side. Also, you see how this is on the bottom? We can change that by setting the origin to center of mass. And to do that, you're going to want to right click, and then you can find set origin, and then origin to center of mass. So now what we're going to do, we're going to scale this pumpkin, make it about that much, sort of like that. Scale it like this, and then we can scale it, make it taller. And it's your choice how you want to make the pumpkins. Make them tall, make them short, whatever you want. So now we're going to Control V, move this one here, and then this is going to be a bit squashed and a bit tall. So there we go. We have our 3 pumpkins, and now what we're going to do, I am going to adjust sort of where they are. I'm going to move the side pumpkins to the front to make it look nice. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to go to edit mode in the first pumpkin, and I already have this top side selected. If you don't, you can just hover and select it like that. But that's not actually what I want to do yet. I'm going to go to the loop cut tool. I'm going to make a loop cut, and I'm going to bring it to the top. Then I'm going to press S to scale. We're going to do that again, S to scale. One more time, S to scale. Now, once we're done with that, what we can do then, we can basically, like we did at the start, we can take all of the top points. Now that we have all of them selected, I'm going to press E and S. This is going to scale it in. Then you should bring it to the bottom a bit. E and S. At this time you bring it to the top a bit. E and S. And then make it about that small. Or actually we could do it a little bit smaller. Maybe about that much. We can bring this up. And now we just extrude this out to make this a stem. And now that we're done with that, we can sort of move this back. And then we can also press F to fill this in. Now we go to the bottom, select the bottom vertices, and then SE to scale inwards. And then we can bring this up. Actually, keep it down. SE or ES, sorry. Then bring this up. ES. Bring this down. And F to fill. Now, once we're done with that, we have to do the same thing to all the other pumpkins. Now, before we do anything, go back to object mode. Now, I'm going to scale this out a bit because this is definitely way too small. So I'm just going to bring this downwards and there. So now you basically just do the same thing to all the other pumpkins. This is going to go a bit faster because this is something you can do by yourself. Now that I'm done with my pumpkins, what I am going to do, I'm going to go back into object mode, and for all three of them, can't shift select and do this, I'm going to add the modifier subdivision surface. Now subdivision surface is going to smoothen it out. I suggest maybe putting it at 5 because that gives a lot of detail. Now if we want to color these before we do anything, actually before we color these, what we're going to do, I'm going to change all the levels back to 0. So make these all 0. Make them all 0. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into shading and click on new. I'm gonna make sort of like lightish pumpkin color, maybe sort of like this. And if I go into this mode, you can see that's the color of my pumpkin. Now if I want that stem color, I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm going to click select the face mode. Now I'm going to keep going around and selecting all of these faces. Make sure you don't get any extra faces just yet. We are going to be adding some extra faces. And then once you have all of the faces, go in and then select all of these faces. Just this part. That's why we added it, mostly. So we could add that. We're going to continue that. Turn it around. Get into a good position. And select all of these. And then finally, once we have that, we're going to make a new slot. Actually, before we do anything, I'm going to rename this material outside. And this is for a reason I will show you later. Now, I'm going to make a new slot, and I'm going to make this a greenish yellowish color. And then make it a bit lighter. About there. Then I will rename this stem. And then we just assign it. Then if we go into this mode, we can see that's what we have. Now what we can do, we can go out of edit mode, go to object mode, click on this pumpkin. I'm going to add outside to this pumpkin as well. And click on this pumpkin, add outside. And then we are also going to add the stems onto these ones. So go into edit mode, shift to group, or not shift to group, shift to select all. And then, once we have all of them, of course we're going to do the same thing we did, Or if you want, you can keep it different, and instead of adding it over here, we can make a new slot, make this stem, and we can assign it. So instead of this, we can make it look like it's not there. And then for the third pumpkin, we're going to do something different. So go into object mode, and for the third pumpkin, what I'm going to do, I am going to select all of these first. Select all of them. And then I am going to select the bottom faces here. Now, once you're done with this, what we're going to do, we're going to make a new slot, but this time, we are going to make it a darkish brown color. And then we're going to rename this stem 2, or wrong letters, stem 2. And then if you want, you can adjust the color, get a bit less brownish, more orange color. But when you're done with that, we're going to assign this. If you go into this mode, you can see the difference. Now we have 3 different pumpkins with 3 different stems. So if we go back into object mode and we increase this to 5, you can see the pumpkins and their stems, the different shapes I made for them. And that was the first part.